Hello everybody and welcome to part 3 and the final part of the OP Early Trilogy. Now I've actually lost quite a bit of my voice because I've been recording this for the last 8 hours. I've been editing and everything, but all you're going to do is use all the materials you got on the Altus Plateau and max out your Estus Flask and everything. You should be able to get your Crimson to at least +7 and then, or no, get it to +8. You should be able to put 7 Crimson and 2 of the other one. But excuse me. The main reason we come back here is because after you talk to the NPC who gives you the jellyfish, you can come back to a cavern and get a seed. Now we are going to go fight the first boss, and I know what some of you are thinking, finally the first boss. But we wanted to get this stuff so it would be easiest for those of you who are new to the game. But sit at the bonfire and we're going to summon in an NPC. He's completely unnecessary, he's just going to draw aggro. We can do the same thing with our normal summons, only this one's a bit more attentive. So as soon as he gets summoned in, walk into the boss fight, start it, ready to go. Skip the cutscene if you want, I don't really mind either way. But this is Margit. Not a very hard boss, especially with this weapon. As you can see, 2 of my attacks took almost a quarter of his health bar. And the gravity magic doesn't do too bad on damage either. But you want to stay away from him, keep pressing L2 and R1 until you run out of magic, obviously, like I did. But that's the fight, it's just done. And for this, you are going to get a talisman pouch. As soon as he dies, there you go. Now what you want to do is teleport back to the Grace before the first step. So there's the first step, there's the other one. And remember when I told you earlier the fog door we'd be going into? Yeah, this is where you're going into it. So here you are. This is where the stone sword keys are coming in. Even if you didn't choose a stone sword key as your first gift, I don't know what else you choose. You could choose a golden seed, but you get more than enough to max out anyway, so they're literally pointless. I mean, I guess it helped you get an extra heal right at the beginning, but as you can see, I got the ability to use 10 heals. But just do what I'm doing. Run down to the second one immediately. Wait, then as it go up, go into the third one. Wait for it to go back up again, and then run down. This will give you more time to do what you need to do. But come down here onto the pot, kill these 2 enemies because they will follow you and they will be tedious otherwise. Then run through the fire. Well, don't run through the fire because as you can see here, I died because I mistimed. Yeah, I mistimed my thing. I actually bumped into that. Essentially, what you're going to do is just do it again. Get into that little alcove before you get set on fire, and then you can get past it to get your second talisman. That's going to be basically all you're going to wear until you get the better version of it. Because the Erdtree Favored Talisman comes in 3 different forms. The base one you're getting here, which is the easiest. The second one, which you can't get until the middle of the capital, which we could actually get to at this point in the game. It's not impossible if we defeat the tree sentinel that's guarding it, or the demonic tree sentinel, but it would be a really tough fight, so I'd advise going through the rest of the game first, especially to get a couple extra levels. So as you can see, we're in the third one, wait for it to go up and then go. But you need to go to the capital, go into the sewer area to get the +1. And as for the +2, I don't remember where it is actually, because I never figured it out. I had my friend drop it to me because apparently it's extremely complicated. But there's a trick to this essentially. As you can see, I'm trying to fire magic at it, but my magic doesn't actually have enough range. If you hit the fire pillar with a bow and arrow, you can just make it go down beforehand. But just come into the little alcove here, wait for it to spray again, go past and whack it. And whacking it is going to do what the arrow should have done, or the spell should have done, and make it go down. And right at the back of this room is an ambush. But on that pillar, on that corpse at the bottom, is the Erdtree Favor. Now I'm going to get out of here because I personally want to keep my 10k souls. They're not necessary, seeing as I can't use them to level up yet anyway, but they are nice to have. But come to the back here, and the grafted enemies should de-aggro off you. It might take a couple seconds, so give it a bit. There we go. And then teleport back to Margit's boss fight. So now we're going to go fight Godric, because to do what we need to do, we need to kill Godric, because we need to proceed Veneer's questline. So there's two ways you can do this. You can go away the long way, which gives you more bonfires, more items, or you can do the way I'm doing, which is the speed run way. Or at least it would be if you were doing the speed run of all the shard bearers. Which I always wondered if you could come in through the back of Godric's boss room, given where it is. But I don't think you're able to, unfortunately, because I think it's blocked off. But come over here to the bonfire, sit down if you need to, level up if you have enough souls, which you should do if you're following my playthrough exactly. If not, don't worry about it. Come talk to this guy and deny his help. And then walk over here to the main gate and he'll open it for you. He'll call you a damn fool for it, but I mean, he'll still open it. And this is where you have to be careful because I died here as well, because this area is very difficult. But you want to come up here, try and dodge the arrows if you can, and come to the right, because this is where you're going to be able to activate Godric's Great Rune. I'm not going to activate it until later because we don't need it yet. We don't need to activate it yet because we don't actually have it, and coming up here would be pointless without it. So grab the Grace, come kill the kitty cat outside if you can find him, because he likes to disappear. There he is. Two well-timed L2s plus R2s will work out fine. You don't want to use the laser on this guy because he'll just dodge it, but with the fire he kind of just accepts it. You get a Somber Smithing Stone 1, so if you want to save 2k on that to upgrade a different weapon, go ahead and get it here. And this is where I died, because those archers are deadly. As you can see, I didn't even have a chance to even drink my Crimson Potion. See, you're not completely overpowered yet. You still have the ability to die. You're just extreme. It's just extremely hard to kill you, as it took 3 arrows to kill me. But just run through that area again. This is why I got this Grace, because it's a tiny bit faster than walking around the other way. Plus we killed the dog, because otherwise we would have to fight him every time. And I got my shield out so I could block the arrows if they hit me. But ironically enough, they never ended up hitting me, as you can see here. I just kind of ran right past them. But get past the flamethrower guys, go to the right, kind of like jump off this tree and around the ramparts, otherwise you have to go around the other way, and just come up here to the Grace Point. Now for some reason, I don't know why, when you're here you can just pull this lever. I remember on my first playthrough I went around the long way and I believe it was locked. But just jump on this, head to Godric's boss fight. But first, there's actually a pot you can get. So this guy gives you cracked pots, which are used for consumable. They're kind of like the glass bottles. Just hit him with a single L2 R1, and it will insta kill him because you do have a +9 Sword of Night and Flame. There's your cracked pot. There are a couple more of these guys, and there's a second cracked pot. So that's 2 items. But I saw this. I don't know what the hell happened there. For some reason, the item was just floating. But there is a little scarab beetle here, so try not to scare him off before you kill the pot guy, otherwise you won't be able to get that Ash of War. Fairly pointless to you, seeing as you're already super past its level, but it's cool to get. But before you go into the boss fight, come out here and kill this giant, because he is protecting a golden seed. 3 well-placed R1s, or well, 2 placed R1s and then just a jump slash will be more than enough. These guys are just one hits if you can fight them, or just spell them to death. 1 gravity spell would be enough to kill them, which is the equivalent of 2 pebbles. But here's your golden seed, which will actually allow you to level up your flask 1 more time, and an NPC who, if you talk to her here, will actually aid you in the boss fight against Godric. There we go, so we've set the thing. I believe I try and level up my flask. Yeah, I do. There we go, another charge was added. And now we can do the Godric boss fight. So I had to do a little cut there because I actually had a bit of trouble with this, with the summon. She basically jumped off the edge of the cliff immediately as soon as we got in. Or not, she didn't, well she did that once, and then the second time I summoned her in, I went into the boss fight too early, and she didn't fully summon in, so she just didn't come at all. So wait for her to fully summon in before you actually get into this fight. But here we are, Godric's a lot tougher than Margit, which is surprising because he's only supposed to be the second boss in the game. But as you see there, with our current abilities, he only took like not even half our health with one of his strong charge up attacks. But you just want to fight him a bit, just try and stay behind him, and as soon as he cuts off his arm, run to his right side and you'll be able to get behind him to get about 4 hits off. Now what you want to do is run away, and you can summon in your spirit animals, which I was thinking of doing, but he was so close to death that there was literally no point in it. But he went down, and that allowed us to grab the final hit. Now we have his Great Rune, which will add 5 whole levels to every stat we have, majorly buffing us. Now it's time to get some armor. Sorry about the little cut there, I actually recorded a bit more audio for that section, but I completely forgot what I was going to do next, so I had to quickly cut it out and remember. But we're going to go get the armor, and by doing that we need to go to an abandoned village in Lucaria. So go to the bonfire you see me going to, which you definitely should have if you've been following the last couple episodes. Grab the cookbook that's there, the cookbook 2, and head to where I roughly point. So you want to head directly, I believe it's west? Yeah, that's west. It's hard to see the counter when the screen's so small in the editing software. But you want to head directly west, follow the walls, and just follow my character, and I'll have a quick chat with you after you see where I'm going. So you see, I got to the bonfire, I fought that enemy, otherwise he's really annoying to sneak past, and I've hit this pot. Now this pot turns into a guy and gives us part of the High Tree Medallion, which is an extremely late game area, like I'm talking post game area. So you won't be able to use it now, but you can use it to get some armor, and if you come down this bridge, you'll find a mini boss, which you can kill. I preferred not to, because of where it is. I wasn't sure if I'd actually be able to, but I mainly came here for the rune arc, for activating Godric's ability. You should already have one in your inventory, this is just in case, and you will have enough souls to buy some more later. But all you're going to do now is you're going to go into your map, press triangle, square, and then X in that order, which will teleport you back to your round table. Sorry about that voice crack. It will take you back to your round table, and you're going to fight this invader who will be a 4-hit kill. Not even a 4-hit kill. He would have been a 1-hit if you used your ability. It's that simple, and you find out that he's actually the guy who gave you the "what do you want" gesture earlier, but we're mainly here to get his armor, which will be where he was standing. Right here. Which, by the way, that bone thing you get, I'm pretty sure is a weapon. But we're going to quickly equip this, and as you can see, we're now stylish as hell. So teleport back to Vine at the first step bonfire, and he's basically going to say go to the 2-finger in the round table hold, because they will allow you to create boss weapons and buy boss armor. You can't buy Godric the Grafter's boss armor because obviously he really wasn't wearing any, but as soon as you beat later game bosses such as Lunara or Radahn, you will be able to. But talk to the 2 fingers, they'll give you a gesture called Rapture, I believe it's called. I'm not too good at reading. And talk to the Finger Maiden to, if you want, create a special weapon for this one. Now, obviously, if you've used all your materials to create a +10 weapon or +9 weapon already, you won't be able to get his one to +9. But if you are a strength build, consider using that weapon. It is actually really good, and it takes a lot of dex. But after you've done that, head back to Vine, which, by the way, I know his name isn't actually Vine. It's just really fun to say. And he'll essentially give you some bloody fingers and say, invade other people's world. You want to invade free people's world. It does not matter whether you win or lose. You see here, he's teleported and give you the Bravo Justice. That means his questline's progressed. Now you'll find him at the Rose Church in Lucaria, which is just right of this bonfire, right there. Or just left of the bonfire, right there. Go to him, he'll ask you to invade other players' worlds, invade free people's worlds. It does not matter whether you win or lose. I don't think you're allowed to just quit out though, I'm pretty sure you have to die. So either jump off a cliff, fight the host, or in my case, get gankers that just kill you without even trying to fight you. I'm not going to show the footage because I don't want to give these guys any credit. But I summoned into the same person's world 3 times. I was just that unlucky. And it was just 2 people sitting there doing absolutely nothing but spamming the same attack, the same unblockable attack. So you couldn't actually do anything. And then they would just kill you. They wouldn't start a fight, they wouldn't be friendly, they wouldn't say hello, they would just insta-kill you and that was it. Those are the worst kinds of people. But there you go, I just showed you how to use the bloody fingers. And after you do that, after you invade those 3 worlds, come back to him and ask him to anoint you. Now he's going to give you the little cloth thing there, and you're able to go back to the church. We've already been here, by the way, so you should have the bonfire. This is actually where we died, is next to the madman's village. But you can come back here and touch the maiden whose armor we got and get the bloody cloth. There we go. And now you're just going to have to go back to him. I know it's a bit of a long run. I really wish there was a bonfire that was closer, but I really don't think there is. And if there is, tell me in the comments. I don't mind. I'll adjust it. I'll find a better route. But head back to him, give him the bloody cloth, and he will basically give you an infinite bloody finger that will allow you to infinitely invade people's worlds, and he will give you a rune that allows you to teleport to Mogwin's palace, or Mogwin's mausoleum as it's called. There you go, as you see he's anointing me. Now I don't know why my character is in pain, but given the look of the bloody finger, I think he just rips off your fingernail, or just cuts off circulation to it completely. Something like that. But that's the item we want to get from him, the communion seal or whatever it's called. Just go into your inventory and use it, and it will teleport you there. Now whilst we're here, we want to get multiple things. One, we're going to get a Norman's rune, and I know that's not what it's called, just humour me. Or a Nomad's rune, or whatever you call, but you get the map literally right as you spawn in, which is really nice. Definitely rest at that grace. It is so difficult in this area, but most of the enemies, as long as you're just running, shouldn't affect you. But there's a Smithing Stone 7 to my left here is the Norman's rune, Noman's rune, however you want to say it, which will give you 17.5k souls. Just jump past this little slime thing, you should be able to. Its hitbox isn't that big, and come grab the rest of these items. Now this dark cave is mostly why we bought the hand lantern, but this place is going to be very difficult because there are 2 enemies that are super strong, will almost one-shot you. You should have just enough health if you've done the exact same thing I have. But they will almost one-shot you, and you have to make sure you manage your stamina perfectly in this area, otherwise you're going to die. You get a Lord Runes there that gives you 50k souls, which is how I got to exactly level 50. But grabbing that Smithing Stone 6 is what killed me because it allowed the other enemy to catch up, and as you can see, I lost a bit of health. I don't know what exactly is giving me health for regen there. I didn't have any ability that would give it, but you saw right there, I was right before the Grace and I got murdered. But just spawn back at the Marika, which is a perfect example there. What I said in the outside of the Bloodfangs boss fight. Spawn at the Church of Maria, you didn't have to run all that way back. But just get through this area, put on your hand lantern, it will help you see better. And as you get to the end, you're going to see a red summon sign on the floor. Do not touch it. That is Vire, or Vinay, whatever you want to call him. And he is a tough NPC. Even with my level 500 character, he was still tough for me. Just sit at the grace and recover your health to get loss of aggro and come exactly where I'm going. You see these enemies? Right at the back is your dragon, your somber dragon smithing stone, which will allow you to get a plus 10 weapon. And just like that, with only fighting two enemies or two bosses in the game, by doing literally nothing else but running around for the last 3.5 hours, I just got a plus 10 weapon, hit level 50, and have a bunch of overpowered talismans. It's as simple as that. So teleport back to the giant and upgrade your weapon. Excuse me, and congratulations, you're now the strongest thing in this game. To put it into perspective, now you can do whatever you want. You can keep speccing into intelligence or faith if you want to carry on along those paths, or you could just completely go a different way and spec into strength if you want to use a strength weapon. It does not matter. From here on out, you can't be killed throughout most of this game. You see there, I got the 16.5k, 65k runes. I just used them and I hit level 50 exactly. And that's it. That's how simple it is. The only thing left is to just clear up a couple loose ends, such as going to get the another gravity spell, which I showed you where to get it earlier. I just didn't beat the enemy. What else am I gonna do? Actually utilize Godric's rune, Great Rune, or show you how to activate it. And one more thing, I can't remember, but it's literally coming after this section. This section was just me saying goodbye in my other video, kind of showing off exactly what I had. So don't worry too much about this, because I'm just basically showing you all the gear I have. So you see plus 10 Knight Sword, Meteoric Staff, Royal Knight's Armor. This was the clip from the first episode where I showed you all this. Someone's like, "Hey, do you want to get this?" This is where I got it from. Oh, I remember. We're gonna get another Crimson tier. There we go. We've switched back. So as you can see, a little time has passed. Essentially, what I'm going to be showing you is where to activate Godric's rune first. So remember the Divine Tower Road kind of area I told you about earlier? See, it was pointless to go there beforehand because you can't actually activate Godric's rune until after you have it. The teleport gate just won't be active. So come up here, grab that. It's a talisman that increases thunder resistance. Not worth it considering there's 2 higher levels you can get out of it. And just run past the giants, and you should see with how strong you are now, how little damage they did. They did less damage than Godric, and these are tough enemies as well. They are scaled down a bit given their area because they're supposed to be a lot stronger, but because it's like the first Great Rune boss you get, they're kind of easier. But just come through this teleport gate and climb the tower. Once you've activated Godric's Great Rune, you can equip it just by sitting at a grace. It's not hard, there'll be an entire new tab for Great Runes. But teleport back to the Stormhill Shack because we're gonna get a another Crimson tier for your Flask of Wondrous Physics. I said I wasn't going to do this, but I thought, feck it, might as well. If you're going for a strength build, this will be a very good tier, but given a magic build, it's not as useful. Just follow exactly where I'm going. There's going to be a giant here, easy kill with your current gear. And at the back will be a tier that you can add to your Flask of Wondrous Physics that will increase your strength by, I believe, 10% for 3 minutes. And just to flex on him, I killed him with a pebble. Little shake there. From there, go back to Lucaria to grab one more gravity spell before you finish off your equipment. I actually died here, which was funnily enough. I fell off the elevator, but that was my own stupidity, less the hardness of it. But travel back to the classroom, you should have this unlocked. Go, you want to head down there, so go over to the other side of this, travel down, jump off to the other side, not the side my camera is, that side over there. Don't slip like I did, which is why I had to go pick up my souls again. Jump off there, there you go. Oh, never, yeah, there you go, I slipped. But go to the other side of that and go fight the enemy. There you go. There's my runes. That's why that's why I had to grab my runes again because I accidentally backstepped. I didn't mean to do it. It just kind of happened. But jump off properly. Don't press square. Don't press circle for no reason. Jump back on this elevator to go back upwards. And remember that enemy you saw earlier where we could do no damage to them whatsoever? Yeah. Now's when you go back and fight them to get a very good gravity spell. Called oh, what's it called? There you go. As you can see, it was easy. There you go, gravity well. But that is it, guys. That is how to become stupidly broken early in the game by only fighting 2 bosses. And you were even stupidly broken before that. If you have enjoyed, leaving a like, comment, or subscribe. If you do leave a comment, I will get back to you. And remember what I always say, try and have a beautiful day. Bye bye. Look out for my Let's Play series because I will be using this build to play through the entirety of the game. So if you enjoyed this, consider checking it out and check out some of my other videos on my channel. My link for my and my mate's Discord is in the description down below. See ya.